Hello, and welcome to my Perfect versus Players guide. As you may tell, this is mainly a guide that covers aspects of the game that are related to PvP. We'll be covering specs, then accessories, then stands. Starting off with specs, let's ask the big question, which is, what gives them their identity? Here is a map provided to tell you where the other specs are. You have Hamon, boxing, gun, and vampire. But the spec we're going to start off with is BrickBattle. Starting off with BrickBattle, that question will have a fifth of it answered since there are 5 specs, this one included. Acquiring BrickBattle, you must first acquire 5k in cash and a link sword, and go find the NPC known as Mugged. After these steps, then voila, you obtain the most single annoying spec in the game, or at least to me. Now it's time to analyze the style's moveset, but don't worry, I won't go too in depth and be straightforward this time. If you love the good old days of Roblox, then this style is just for you, if you're above the age of 30 that is. It has sound effects that put you in a state of sheer euphoria from the nostalgia-filled sound effects, which had filled your childhood with happiness, excluding the family divorce. But now it's time to look at BrickBattle. First up, here is the skill tree, and yeah, it's almost as simplistic as my taste of women. Next up is linked sword slash, and it deals 20 damage, is unparryable. Yeah, sure. This move has put me through so much frustration because of how much of those ego glazers that max out their dashes and use Bruford shoes, since why not? It's mainly used as a combo extender for how much it stuns, or if you're an idiot just like me, you'll have your block broken by the move only for your health to drain faster than my wallet did when she mood dropped. Now, it's time for the rocket launcher, which puts the American military to shame with how much mental and physical damage this can do to someone, mainly myself. The rocket launcher does 25 damage and is basically unblockable since it can deal damage while block breaking and ragdolling the opponent. Peter, please do something, man. Last but not least, it's the bomb jump, which does a whopping 10 damage. But that's why. Jokes aside, it's a pretty decent get out of alligator fuckhouse card, and decent when it comes to maneuverability. Thank God that doesn't block break, since if it did, people would just run up to you, block break your block faster than a Dream subscriber being fatherless speedrun. Oh, right. I forgot about a move that is almost as disappointing as myself. Travel. You summon a goddamn brick wall in hopes to compensate for something else. Sure, it blocks projectiles, and you can hide in order. And you can use the wall to pose and hide and whatever. But why in the hell would you place a freaking brick wall to block a projectile when you could just block? The F keys are right there. And B, your opponent will run through your shit faster than the Kool-Aid Man can just break your entire house. Kool-Aid Man, Crazy Diamond, win? And finally, that wraps up this annoying ass style. And the next spec is boxing. Oh my god, is that a UBJ reference? Beside that, you seriously have to be punch drunk if you pick up this style because of how brain dead it truly is. Want to know why? Then let's dive right into its moveset. First, acquire boxing gloves and 5k in cash, and you also must tread the most awful part in this map, which is the mountain, in order to talk to Kaicho Kamagawa. First up, we have the Ghost Trap, and man, pretty mediocre damage, but it's extremely fast and is unblockable. It's basically the Kendrick diss track, except it's as in your face as much as the song itself is. Sure as hell is in the way. Next is the Solar Plexus Block. The amount of stun it puts you in gives you enough time to think of your life choices and think to yourself, how the fuck did that hit me? Get your opponent low enough and use this move when they're red health, and you get a mad pinch that send your opponent flying and their ass back to UBG where they can't get Dempsey rolled to hell and back. Good thing it's not unblockable, because if it were, another unblockable, what move am I thinking of? And lastly, there is the Fists of Iron, or the White Fang, since it seems to have some similarities to the move. It's a double activation move or whatever you call it, where you can input the move once and input the rest of it later. Fully upgraded, you can do all the random bullshit you want and still hit the last hit of it, which is unblockable. Wait, another unblockable? Yeah, just speaking about it is enough to have me get punch drunk. Oh crap, side note. You gain a passive if you do a side dash instead of a regular side dash. It gives you a dodge filled with enough items that puts Evo's Dempsey roll to shame. Other side note, if you have the red scarf, boxing, and GR build, then you essentially have the triple traumatic finish build. Thanks, Coffee. I wanted to know what it was like at O-Block. Better yet, ever wanted to know what it felt like to use O-Block? Then Gun is just for you. You have an arsenal of guns. I'm not sure if it's a word or hate crime, depending on how you use it. In order to acquire a gun, you need again a 5k, or you need to give Inobi his laptop that has TCA already downloaded. Every time you use one of their moves, then your next move is a guaranteed buff and damage. Who knew zoning had such benefits? Enough of the yapping, but now it's time to get into it. Can't make it to Detroit without a concealed carry, which is where revolting shots come in. You shoot 3 shots, and depending how much notes you put in for faster starter, you are either Clint Eastwood's right hand, or God just hates you. Doesn't block break, but who cares? At least you have other things in your arsenal, such as, is that a fucking MP5? Ah yes, Bullet Barrage. I too love to remember that rush. Bullet Barrage is a spray and fantastic move, but hey, at least it works when your opponent isn't blocking. Pretty funny move, but that's where the fucking sniper comes in. Man's pockets can hold an entire sniper man in their pocket, I guess, dealing heavy damage, and depending on the node you choose, you can either go through their block or give them the finger to their block. Personally, I'd give them the finger so I could start fingering them later. Oh yes, Hamon. The most spec ever. The reason why I say this is because it's not really that interesting, nor is it that fun to play, but regardless, I will do an overview over it. First, you have to obtain a Zappelli hat and 5k again. And go find William Zappelli, take his will, then yeah baby, you get his Hamon. Finally, it's time to talk about the moves. Oh man, this is gonna be boring. First off, we got the Hamon charge. And with charging it, you gain access to all of your moves as well as a damage buff and defensive buff as long as your Hamon is charged. Zoom Punch, being our first defensive move, is basically Inspector's Go-Go Gadget Extendo Arm if you want it to be a vampire. Zoom Punch's main utility is being a combo extender with the amount of stun it has. It's not like you would use it for a block breaker anyways, since it can't even break a block. Scarlet Overdrive though is the complete opposite of Zoom Punch. It could burn, block break, and ban Divinity from the server. Not to mention it's incredibly fast, so it makes it somewhat of a good get out jail free card. And this next move, oh my god. Sunlight Yellow Overdrive is such a god awful move. It drains your entire Hamon meter for starters. It doesn't block break. It's a barrage. It doesn't even ragdoll. Overall, the spec is one of the specs ever. I can see people only using it for the damage and defensive buffs the majority of the time, but other than that, it's incredibly boring to play in comparison to every other style, or spec, sorry. I finally get to talk about my favorite style in the game, and I'm surprised that's my favorite too. But just like a Hello Kitty girl that has every prescription humanly possible with twice as much therapy sessions a week, this style sucks the soul out of you. But in order to get the style, you again need 5k and the stone mask. What better way to prove it by showing off the style? First off, you get the yummy sucky that deals a hefty amount of damage for a good heal, depending on how much notes you have for the move. Sadly, it may be a grab, but it's blockable. Though that's fair, since Peter would be annoyed by how many people keep telling him to nerf Bloodsuck because of how they keep getting sucked to death. Speaking of annoying, we have the Vaporization Freeze, which is such a great tool overall. Great damage, stuns your opponent in place for a couple of seconds and breaks block. What better way to use a red scarf than this style? And finally, we have the Space River Stingy Eyes, and they definitely Space River Stingy my eyes. Yeah, I'll just go with that. It's a good projectile with multiple hits, though you can leave yourself exposed with it so use it sparingly before you look like another Astroworld incident. Now that I've covered all the specs, think it is time to talk about the accessories and how they spice up the gameplay even more. It's getting rather late and I'm near my breaking point. I'll keep the accessories short and simple. You gain accessories via the crafting tab or purchasing an accessory chest. What accessories do is that they can either give benefits to your build by either doing more damage or gaining more defense, or just saying fuck all and gain a new move and black flash the shit out of your opponent. The three main examples of these are the red scarf, which allows you to do a black flash after a block break, parry, or deflect. Base markings, which replaces your R for a dismantle, and Jonathan's glove, replacing your R for a black flash-esque move, which gives you armor throughout the entire move and deals heavy damage. If you use this, then I hate you and it's an immediate crutch, no questions asked. Now it's time to talk about stands, and since I'm getting nearer my breaking point, I'm going to make this short and simple also. When it comes to stands, there are some that are pretty combo heavy, technical, and some that are extremely very easy. For beginners though, I recommend stands such as Star Platinum because of its heavy damage and good pressure, I'd say. The hand because you're basically working around with two moves that you want to hit, and has a really good get out of jail for free card, which is the kicks. Golden experience since it has a lot of, as I said prior with the hand, moves that get out of jail for free, and Killer Queen because overall it's pretty fun to use and all you're really doing is just making the opponent go boom. Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm not writing another script or freeballing at this time, but man, why did I stay up this late just to finish a stupid TCA video only 500 people are gonna see? It's about TCAans, yeah. I'm not, if you made it this far, I'm as surprised as you are for seeing me stay up this late. Yeah. If you didn't make it this far, thanks, I appreciate it. And, I hope my tournament was entertaining. Yeah, other than that, I don't know, go follow Coffee or Carrot and something, I don't know, but, see you next time, hopefully.
歌教員のりやきか